You'll get hardcore constipation if you remove fiber out of your diet. Ironically, the first thing that you notice when you do carnivore, a lot of people do carnivore or keto, whatever it is rather than getting constipation, you get pretty uncontrollable diarrhea.
Explosive.
And that's probably a whole factor of things of your gut microbiome, like readjusting and getting used to your new way of eating. But once that settled down, my poo was fine. I didn't get constipated, no nothing. Yes, my fecal matter was much smaller than it used to be, but that's probably because I didn't have as much waste matter in my food anymore. Fiber is probably the most overrated health hero since our good friend margarine. Remember that bad boy? I mean, we've been sold this story over time that we need to eat plants, we need to eat vegetables, we need to eat fruits. But through the carnivore revolution, I think people are starting to recognize that that may not necessarily be true. The science is still out on it really, but like there are many things that demonstrate that fiber isn't an actual needed nutrient in the body. That's known. Everything else around that and longevity studies that show people who eat more fiber live longer and don't get cancer and things like that. But at the same time, there aren't many studies around people just eating all meat diets either. So I think the jury's out on that. But the good thing is that there's lots of anecdotal information right now that's showing people are living prosperous lives, healthy lives on a carnivore diet. The weirdest part, I actually think I've had the smoothest poos that I've had in a long time. I feel great at the back end. I know it's gross to talk about, but it's the best poos I've ever had. But when you eat meats, especially the fatty cuts of it, your digestion becomes a lot more efficient. That's what I find. It just, you know, I'm back on the same cycle that I was prior to being carnivore. One every morning after my coffee, like clockwork. It's actually kind of magical. But the weird part is around fiber, and it's probably something I've spoken about before in other videos, is that bloating and, you know, especially the insoluble fiber. You know, it can cause bloating and gas in lots of people, especially people with gut issues. All I'm saying that is you don't need it, because otherwise, if it was the case, every carnivore out there would be so backed up that, you know, for the people who know this analogy, it'd be like being on the Monash freeway in Melbourne. That stuff is backed up, and that's not good. And did anyone ever think maybe you're going to the toilet way too many times with that fiber intake? Anyway, just a little thought bubble. The way I like to look at it now is by eating what I'm doing, my digestive system has become a lot more efficient, just like a Tesla.